Hey guys, welcome back to the Nerdy Dad Vlog. Welcome to the channel where I awkwardly talk about my interest and my toys. So today I've got another awesome action figure for you guys. I think you'll like it. This is actually one of my favorite characters of all time, just because I was a huge X-Men fan growing up, and she just always had great stories written behind her. I'm assuming it's just the writing, and you know, part of it was the character too, because she's just so interesting. So the figure that I'm going to be talking about today is the Hasbro Marvel Legends Kitty Pryde, and you know, this is a really cool figure. It's actually one of the modern costumes that she wears. I really love the simplistic color of the black and gold. It's an ode to the original, the first class X-Men. Not the revamped title, but the the original comic book that came out in 1964. So this figure also comes with a lot of cool accessories. Actually, a couple of cool accessories. One in which I'm really happy for is Lockheed. That's her pet dragon, and this the really one of the most popular sidekick or like role characters in comic books today. He's just so iconic, and he's so cute too. I can't get over how awesome that I have a Lockheed figure with my Kitty Pryde. And it also comes with an Onslaught helmet, and I think this goes with the Onslaught Build-A-Figure, which I don't have, but hopefully the ball joint is universal with the Hasbro Marvel Universe figures, so I could just modify a new figure and make an Age of Apocalypse Magneto. That would be awesome. So one of the first things that I'd like to talk about is how awesome the head sculpt is. That's pretty on point as far as the structure of the face and how accurate it is for Kitty Pryde. Also the bangs. I mean, I think she's synonymous with the bangs as far as like the modern look of her. She didn't have the bangs previous to her modern look, so I think that's a good take. I love the detailing of the ponytail. That's really cool. It doesn't really move. It's pretty static as far as movement, but it's just cool to have because it doesn't. A lot of the female figures that were sculpted, like especially the Toy Biz line, they'll have the hair moving to the side, which I always thought is weird because it's, as far as posing and playability, it doesn't make any sense. It's one of the things that I nitpick about, actually. So what's really awesome about this figure is the proportions that the Hasbro company has made for Kitty Pryde. I mean, she's a pretty petite character, so in doing that, I think they've succeeded as far as making her a petite character. Also, I like how they didn't make her overly muscular. I mean, there's some tone on her body, but it's not overbearingly muscular where it's just not accurate to the character. So this character actually has 16 points of articulation. You got a ball joint on the arms, the shoulder parts. You got an ab crunch. You got a double joint on each of the elbows. Then you got ball joints at the thighs, and you got cut joints at the mid thighs. Then you got double joints at the knees. You can't really turn the boots in the shin part, but you can have her on her toes, on the ankles, so you can move that up and down. Of course, you can move the head. can't really move it. Oh, you can move it slightly up and down, and then, you know, of course, circular, which is cool. And you could also turn the ab crunch. Yeah, you can turn it 360. But as far as like turning the torso, there's no torso movement, which is okay. I think if they added the torso movement, then it would have taken away from the sculpting, which you know, you don't want to sacrifice sculpting, especially for this particular figure. I'm really liking how well they crafted this particular toy. I think that you know, they succeeded as far as you know, having a good representation of her appearance, and just the muscular proportions. You know, as far as like the female toys, like in the past, you know, like Toy Biz and Hasbro has not really fared well, and I think this is where Hasbro is really distinguishing themselves away from Toy Biz, and they're starting to make really great female superhero toys. And I'm really surprised and impressed and excited for the you know, the furtherment of this Hasbro toy line, because you know, they're just making great toy female superheroes, and it's just much better than the Toy Biz. So a couple of other of extra things. I do like the belt. I like that it can move, and it's, you know, just not stuck on her. You know, you can you know, whenever she moves around, it moves around. So that's pretty cool. I like that that option. I also like the accessories that she comes with. I like Lockheed, because you can't really have let me get that to focus. 1 second, guys. Okay, so I really like that they have Lockheed. I mean, you can't really have a Kitty Pryde figure without Lockheed. I mean, those two are synonymous with each other. You can't have one or the other. They're complementary characters. So, you know, whenever you have a Kitty Pryde, you know, I expect a Lockheed, and they did that, and they succeeded. I'm really happy about that. And I'm also happy about the Onslaught head. I think it gives you more options for customizing. You know, customizing is a big thing, especially in the Marvel Legends line. So that's cool. One additional thing to note is that there are no pegs on, or no slots on shoulder or arm for Lockheed to really perch on. So you're just gonna have to do your best to perch him on there. But you know, that's fine. Just to have him is great. Overall, actually, what I'm missing is here is like there's a couple of paint mishaps on this particular figure. So there's a black paint slop over there. I don't know if even that's the right word for that. And then there's a paint error over there, which isn't too bad. And also the X is rubbing off already, which is kind of disturbing, I would say, because you know, that's, you know, the X is pretty symbolic as far as you know, the team that she represents. But other than that, this is a great figure. I give this a I would say a 9 out of 10. Really great start to you know, like the X-Men line, and I'm just glad that this figure's in my collection, and I'm glad that it's a Kitty Pryde. I mean, Kitty Pryde is just you know, just one of the best female characters, if not one of the best and most interesting characters to date, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, she's just a great character. I mean, she has a power where it's all about defense, and you know, she phases through walls, and you know, that's what her power is centralized on. You know, it's much different than the other X-Men, where their powers are based on offense. Her powers are based on defense. So that's a little tidbit for you. if you're not familiar with the character. You could find this character. Actually, this would be a difficult character to find nowadays. But if you do get your hands on this character, you know, like, definitely check her out. I mean, the price point is about, I think, $19.99 nowadays. So, you know, definitely check her out. She's worth a shot in your collection. Definitely happy to have her in my collection. So, anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and tune in for more videos.